Om Satchitananda Parabrahma Om Satchitananda Parabrahma Om Satchitananda Parabrahma Om Satchitananda Parabrahma Om Satchitananda Parabrahma. Namaste and welcome to this satsang this evening. Bliss, 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 bliss. How are you doing today, my dear friends? How are you feeling today? Om Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So my friends, I just put the intention very, very deep tonight. I want to go deep with you today. So if you just leave the daily drama behind, and start to go and feel the vibrations already on a deeper, 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 more subtle plane in yourself. Most of the day today I've been into silence. There's something going on the inside here. And I want to share that energy with you tonight. So there've been a lot of hours in meditation, a lot of hours in silence to really work with the progress within. Are you allowing yourself to go that extra mile to do that inner size, that inner job with yourself? I don't want to speak too much today. I want you to absorb the presence of the energy, the presence of the consciousness, the presence of the silence that's laying within myself and within you. I want you to absorb the oneness. So please put your attention between your two eyebrows and hold your attention here during this session. Don't let the focus go anywhere else. Just leave your attention in your third eye. Now you can just listen while I chant again. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Feel the presence. Feel the peace. Feel that we are bowing down to the creator of the universe. Feel that you are bowing down to the one that is within your own consciousness. Sometimes I get questions from your people. They're asking me about things like twin flames or the fifth dimension, or things like that. So I want to put out what I know about it now. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know if we are in the third, the fifth, the seventh, or the 12th dimension. Okay. I don't know if we have twin flames or not. What I feel is my twin flame is God. You see? From my understanding is that if we put too much attention on the different dimensions and all the city powers and all the things that's going on in the astral world, we are losing focus. We are losing focus on ourselves. So all your attention is out there on the city powers, the healing, the medium thing that you can talk to dead people, or you can read this, or you can read that, you can see in the future, you can see in the back, past lives or whatever, right? When you do that, you are losing focus. You're losing focus and awareness of your own self. You're putting too much attention on which dimension we are in. Everybody here is living on the planet Earth. You see? Maybe there is an upgrade in energy. I don't know. So I want to talk about if it's true or not. But if you focus on yourself, if you put your focus on you, then you will transform. You can't just like, oh, I'm going to relax because we are in the fifth dimension now and everything is love and everything is happiness, and one day I hope to find my twin flame and everything's going to be so nice. Then you're still like stuck, if you understand what I'm saying. So what I'm pointing out here is put your attention on yourself and get rid of your own problems. Be empty. That's a really, really hard one. Empty yourself totally. All concepts of every dimension you can know about, concepts about who you are in form of a dad or a mom or a sister or a job title or a type of spiritual person, get rid of all that. Work on your karmas. You are now playing out the karma of the pralabdha karma, which is your destiny fate karma that you was brought with when you came to the planet. Work with that and liberate yourself from the negative karmas that you have. If we are ascending up or not, what difference does it make if you're still suffering? If you have no clue about who you are, if you have no clue about why you are here, and if you are living far away from your dharma, you are in the samsara here in the planet. You are in the karma. You are in the wheel of illusion, the wheel of birth and rebirth. You see? So if we are ascending up to a higher dimension, let us say, then what? What difference is it going to make to you if you are not working on yourself? It may be the case that we are in the fifth, or we are in the 12th, or we are in whatever dimension, right? But as far as I can see, I don't see people living totally in the heart. I don't see people living totally unfair, an unfair reality. I don't see people living in total harmony and peace with themselves and with one another. There is still a lot to do. You see? The ego is a very, very big thing that we need to work on. We need to get rid of the ego. And as my beautiful wife says, become the best friend with your ego and not an enemy with your ego. Don't let the ego control you. Don't let the ego be in the way for you. It's not so easy. So today I was feeling my own ego. I was experiencing my own ego. You see? So I needed to surrender. I needed to be totally quiet. I needed to go in a deeper state within myself, because my ego from many, many years back has coming up to the surface the last couple of days. So I needed to work on that. So I was getting into total silence. I've been into different parts of deep meditations today. Because ego is creating suffering. It is creating a false reality. It's creating bad habits, bad reactions. And one of the hardest things that we are working with is to don't project your own ideas, your own concept, your own feelings, your own emotions into someone else. That's why a relationship is a very, very nice path to be in this spiritual progress. Because you are the guru of your wife and your wife are the guru of you. You're all the time learning each other, picking on each other. And if you can meet your spouse, the one you love, and really, really merge into a space of a higher awareness, then you can really, really work things out. Then you can really, really grow for real. You see how we have a good example over here. We have Shiva and Parvati, right? Shiva and Parvati. You know, be like Shiva and Parvati. Express the love. But we need to surrender the ego. We need to get rid of the ego so it don't stand in the way for a perfect relation to blossom, for a perfect world to be in peace, to be in harmony. If you put away the ego from the presidents, if you put away the ego from those people who are controlling the world, if you understand what I'm saying, how will that turn out? If you put in practice of meditation, practice of a higher spiritual awareness in school, how will that impact the world? What will happen? We start today, and as soon as the girls and the boys are starting in school, they are learning about meditation. They are learning about being quiet. They are learning about who they are. They are learning about the ego. They are learning about death. They are learning about being humble. They are learning about greediness, jealousness, hate, all those things, and what that can do if you are into it. How will the world change if we can put that into our kids, into the future, right now? That will make a great impact, don't you think? But we have to start with ourselves, right? We can't just project our spiritual belief into something that is not ready for it, right? Many of us been through that when we go into this spiritual awakening, right? We are waking up and we go into like different layers of the awakening process. And as we go along, we want to share that with the world. We want to project our experiences into other people. And it's there where we need to be quiet, where we need to feel and sense where we are ready and able to, in a way, promote what we have experienced. You see? That's why I don't go to places and just like starting to talk, you know? What if I meet a person? If I go a shop or I do something and I see or I experience some kind of openness, awareness in the person, and we are meeting at a higher vibration, at a higher awareness, then things will start to work with between us, right? So there's also a game of the ego that we also want to project. We always want to project our own conditioning into others. And we need to stop doing that, you know? If you can just be inspiring to those who are around you and start with that, then you can like expand. You can do your own like thing to get the message out there, right? And become an influencer for other people, huh? But we always need to start with ourselves. And we always need to look deep into our own mirror and into a relation. If you have a relation with a high awareness on both sides, you can really, really, really work things out on a higher level because that mirror will be your own guru on both sides, you know. And when you can work on the ego, and when you can work on the stubbornness, and when you can work on all those lower parts of yourself, then you can do some really, really great transformation within the relation and within yourself. Um, yes, so today I'm just doing this in English. So if you're asking questions in Swedish, I will answer them in English. Okay? So if you have something that comes to mind that you want to share, I would love to answer it, but I will do it in English today. Okay? And I hope you Swedish beautiful people can understand what I'm saying. If you're having problem with the English, then just absorb everything with your heart because we are not speaking in language anyway. It's just a way to communicate so we can understand each other intellectually. Mm. I want to meet you in the heart. And when we meet in the heart, we don't need to speak. We can just be silent. Mm. You can be in different environments, for example, when you can notice that there's just the mind thing going on with the people that you are around with. And you notice that you can't like meet in the heart because it's a mind thing going on, mind chatter. And then you can come to a place where you can just sit and be quiet and you can feel more close than you ever felt before. Mm. I think it's a very, very beautiful way to meet when you can just be silent, and you can just meet the other person or the other beings and just be totally quiet and silent and surrender to each other and just be there and absorb the quietness within. No judgment, nothing. Just be there like an empty cup. So, what is the thing with awakening? Can you please express yourself a little bit more? The thing with awakening. I can talk a little bit about it if you express a little bit more what you really, really uh, wondering about it. So, we are going through phases, different type of phases in life, right? And some of us may be into an accident, some close to us may die, we may be into some type of serious thing as we experience it, which then leads to something that we can call an awakening. So, when my dad passed in 2011, my experience of death changed. I stopped being afraid of dying myself. I stopped the belief of what I had before about that because I experienced that no one really dies. No one really get born. We are just changing bodies depending on the karmas all the time until we are done with the karmas and we can go home again. So what I experienced when my dad passed was that I got a bigger awakening when it comes to death. I awaked in the form of a higher understanding about life and death. And when I was doing that, I was reading the book, the Tibetan book of Living and Dying, which I highly recommend for everyone to read. So, the thing with awakening is that it gets you into a higher awareness in life. And as you go along, the process will continue and raise higher and higher and higher. And in one plane, you may feel like, wow, I think I have got it now. I understand it. And then something happened to you and you got into a bigger awakening, or we can call it a higher realization. Higher realization. Higher understanding. And when you go into that, you go beyond your old beliefs because something new came in. Because you become ready for something higher, for something deeper. The higher understanding was waking up from within. And that awakening can then lead to new concepts and new ideas that you also have to put away. But you may not be ready to put those concepts away. You may believe like you belong to this, you are that, you're this, you're that, when you're coming into a higher awareness also, and then you're putting on new titles and new ideas into yourself. And it may go 2, 3 months, maybe a year, and then you're like, whoa, I need to get rid of that also. You see? So that can also be a thing in the awakening process, that you are also building up even more ego. You see? So I want you to be humble and don't put on too many things on you. Mm. Let them strip yourself naked. That's better than put new clothes over the clothes you already have. Mm. You maybe think like, wow, this green shirt is more beautiful than the yellow one I have, so I put this on top of it. You know, that's a typical thing in the form of the ego, right? In the form of a new title. Let's just take that off and take the yellow shirt off also and strip yourself down so you are not having any titles at all, and you will become more free. But you have to do the work. You have to be the one that are experiencing it, absorbing it, and are coming into this higher awareness. And that's why we can do these gatherings. That's why masters and gurus are having and been have satsangs all over the world, because in the satsang the work can be done. So much work can be done in a very, very short amount of time. So, for example, when you are tuning in here, we can work fast with you. If you're going to meet me live or meeting someone else live that are holding a satsang, your karmas and everything will work out faster. You see? So, spending time in an ashram with a enlightened master will do tremendously good work for you. That's what the guru's job is, to remove the darkness so you can see clearly who you are, so you don't have to suffer anymore. See? Remove the veil of darkness so you can see clearly, so you don't have to suffer. See? Yes, let me see if I have some more things here. Questions. It absorbs in my inner this beautiful meeting. Beautiful, Marie. Very beautiful. To see the truth beyond illusion. Yeah. So we also have to put into perspective that what we call illusion may also be a concept until we really understand what the illusion is, right? So we have to be a little bit careful there too, right? Okay, we are living in illusion. It's Maya, it's samsara, it's vasana, samskaras, all those names, right? Which is just concepts until we really have the understanding of what's real or not. Huh? But yes, to see the truth beyond illusion, that's a big awakening. That's a big, big, big one. Mm. Yeah, you can say, Leave, that awakening is some sort of death experience because we are dying every day. Every day when you are working with your ego, you are killing a little bit of yourself. You understand me? So when you are killing a little bit of yourself, what you believe is you, if you're deleting a little bit of that every day, you will become more awake and more clear. You see? So we have to die every day. You have to work on dying every day to be fully awake. And it's a hard task, my friend. And put away the concept of like dying in the body. I'm talking about, you can, if you having problems with the word dying, put the word delete into it. if that feels nicer, right? Delete concepts and ideas and egos of yourself every day. mm, to come into a more pure sattvic form within your mind, within your heart. Yes, die in every motion, in every moment, yes. Even the illusion is just a construct of the mind, yes. Put your attachment on pure sattvic energy. But in the end, we want to let go of all attachments, yes. So you can have your attachment on pure sattvic energy, you can have your attachment on emptiness or nothingness or enlightenment, but then you want to get rid of that attachment too, because that is just a concept until you have come into full realization of it. We can say, like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to become enlightened, but you have no idea how it is to become enlightened until you are enlightened, right? So then we are building up a new concept of enlightenment, and we are getting attached to enlightenment. It's better to be attached to enlightenment, to a pure sattvic mind, than to a tamasic, dull, egoistic, and stubborn, jealous, greedy mind, right? But still, we have to get rid of that attachment too, and that idea too, because that idea is another concept, which is a new illusion, right? So the same happened to me when Jenny and Sarah died in a fire. Jenny dreamed that she was dead, and she told me that I shouldn't be sorry if she died because she was happy there. 3 days, 2 days later, so was it a fire, and Jenny and Sarah died. Wow, that's that's a deep one, Yvonne. I'm thanking you for sharing it. So I guess Jenny and Sarah was your kids or somewhere very close to you. It's a very, very hard thing to lose those who are close to us, because with our family, let's say our children, our mom and dad and siblings, is like the deepest attachment, right? And that's the hardest thing to detach you from. And all of a sudden, some of us may just die, and we just have to face it. And that's where the really, really deep, deep work starts, right? That we can have like this bigger understanding of accepting of letting go, because you have no choice. They are gone in the physical form. We have no choice of like, please come back and let's work this out. It's like it's gone and we have to face it. And that is a very, very, very deep experience that we can face, and that we all will face, because the only thing we know for sure is that the body will be gone one day, right? We will take another form one day. That's the only thing that we know, 100%, right? So, yeah, thank you for sharing that, Ivan. Yeah, you see the death as liberation. Yeah, but we also have to realize, like, if we haven't get rid of the karmas, if we haven't worked with the karmas, we will have to be reborn with the same karmas and do the same thing over again. So that's why it's very wise to work with the karmas in this lifetime, to really change the pralabdha karma, so you can have a new good karma if you are coming back another time, right? So you don't have to do like the same process over and over again. That's why like suicide is a really, really bad choice. I was very close to doing, I was having those thoughts in my mind a few years back. I'm very happy that I didn't. do those actions, but I know how it is to be there, that you don't want to live, you want to die. That is not a nice experience. But what happened to me was I got into the realization that the only thing that exists is what you can perceive at the moment with your own consciousness and what the consciousness can reflect back at you. So when I started to go into that, my mind stopped from being in the past or being in the future. I was becoming more into the now. And I come to the understanding and the realization of, okay, if I can put my attention totally in the now to what I am experiencing at the moment, consciousness is experiencing consciousness. Okay, at this moment in this room here, right, talking to you guys, then I can't worry about things that's going on the outside, right? That will be a mind thing. So when I learned that, I my suffering went away slowly and slowly and slowly, and I get out of that situation that I was in. So there is something that you can practice. You can practice to work with what's only here and now, and just tell your mind, I'm just here and now. Don't project things to me in the future or from the past. Let me just be here and now. It may take a little bit of work, but it's definitely worth it. And you will come into another understanding that will help you if you are in a situation or in a suffering moment in life, which we all go through. That's natural for us. We go through different stages of suffering on different levels, you see? Separation and all those things. Mhm. So I just want to point it out. There is something that can really, really help you, you see? I have some death experience, but I'm still working on my spirituality. Yeah, that's good, Liv. Many people have those kind of what we can call a near death experience and don't want to come back. And, you have all those kinds of stories that we can read about. Um, but yeah, work on your spirituality. It's very, very worth it. You know, make sure to spend time with other high vibrating beings. See God in all makers, names, and forms. Yes. So that is also an important note, you know. Spend time with people who are vibrating higher, or at least as high as you. Going to gathering, to spiritual gatherings, into satsangs where you can sit with people or you can sit with a master and absorb that. It will really, really, really help you. Or if you have like a few friends that you can meet in the spiritual vibration, where you can have input from someone who has some kind of deeper experience about things. Mm, it will really, really help out. Mm. Delete sounds better, yes. Then you can use delete, Katarina. You can put death aside. Don't kill yourself, delete yourself. Control Alt Delete. Huh? How do I manage to turn the darkness to light? Problem must be solved. So we have to understand first and foremost that in the universe there is light and there is dark. We have daytime and we have nighttime. So we should not put the dark away. We can transform the dark into light. But darkness and light is also a concept. What you have to work with is your own karma and your own experiences that is making you suffer. Because we can put darkness into the realm of suffering, right? So if I suffer, I feel like I am in the dark. I'm in darkness because it's very dark. It's clouded. It's dark clouds. I can't see the sun. Mm. So, what is your suffering and how can you get rid of that suffering? Suffering comes most of the time from attachment. We're attached, and that creates suffering. So, I recommend you to do daily meditation. Daily meditation. Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyoti Gamaya Mrityor Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityo Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Sat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityo Mritam Gamaya. That is a very, very powerful mantra to work with, turning the darkness into light. When someone dies, should you feel good feelings about this person that has been through suffering? I think it is egoistic that we want to have someone here who is still suffering. Unfortunately, we are sitting here with those feelings, all of us. Ego. Yes, so we can have compassion and be humble to other beings. But everyone is going through their own pralabdha karma. Everyone is going through their own karmas. So some of us may have deeper experience of what we can say deeper, heavier karma, right? We can see different places in the world that are into war and more hard knocked places to live in, right? That's another karma. But then we can have the mental karma that we can see a lot of up here in the north, right? In Sweden and Norway, we can see a lot of mental illness because We are thinking in a way that is creating a lot of suffering. You know, then we can be blessed on other parts, right? But when the person is ready, when the person has gone through all the breaths, because every one of us is coming here to earth with a certain amount of breaths. So when you come here, until you become like 72 or 82, 92 or 50, you have those breaths. And when those breaths are over, you are gone. You see? So those breaths are connected to your karma. And when those breaths are gone through, you're finished. And the thing is, when you are practicing yoga, you are learning to produce more breaths, which will end up, if you are putting out, let's say you have short amount of breaths to you become like, say you should be 50 years this time, right? For your karma is pretending to be here, your pralabdha karma is here and is working with you until you become 50 years old, right? And you have like 10 million breaths or whatever it might be, right? If you are doing meditation and good practice of yoga, then you can save up some breaths every day. And from you are 50 years old until you say you become 60, you will become into a higher awareness. You may even go into samadhi for some years, into different states of samadhi, and live for 10 more years. And that's the beauty with practicing yoga. You see? So if we take it a little bit deeper and a little bit more of how it's really working, it's really, really interesting to see that when we are doing the pranayams, when we are doing the yoga, the asanas, the dhyana, the dharana, we are coming closer into different levels of samadhi. We're coming into ananda, into bliss. See? So we can always feel for others, but the ego is there, yes. The ego is always there. We want to keep them, we want not to keep them, we want so many wants, right? So many attachments on different levels that we just have to be, you know, everything is taken care of, you know. So focus on the light. See how you can find a stream of light in the dark, and that is going to spread into more light. Yes, we have some nice comments here. I have been through suicidal, but the awakening is there. It's a time for everything. Yes, it is, Liv. Everything is like pointed out very, very perfectly for us. We can also go to astrologies and see how like the planets are in tune also with our karma and our happenings in life, you know. So it's very, very planned out. Laila Amrush has a question about ego. He said that you should be friend with ego. My understanding is that ego is something we should try to get rid of, and it doesn't serve us. Will he answer us later? Doesn't seems like he's reading the comments. Yes. So let's put it this way. Um, if you are becoming an enemy with your ego, if you are putting up the ego as the enemy, what will that do to you? Mhm. If you're just dropping it, what will that do to you? How will you approach the ego? If you become friend with your ego, you understand like, okay, this is my ego, then you just drop it. Or if you start like getting like this with the ego, what will be the easiest way for you to get rid of the ego? Mhm. Just feel that for a moment. It depends if the ego will disappear. If you still will be attached to the ego, it will still be there. But if you really, really drop it, you will get rid of it. So you have to see, Christina, how it's going. Why is it good to have an ego? It's better than not to have any ego at all. Yes, Luna. So when we are in this world, we will have some kind of ego, no matter what, right? Because like, hi, I'm a dad. Hi, I'm a sister. Hi, I'm a brother. It will be some kind of ego, but the ego will come up in many, many different layers and forms. And the attachment to the ego is the problem, not ego itself. It's like this phone isn't a problem, but if I am attached to the phone, then the phone becomes a problem. And it's the same with the ego. When we get rid of more and more ego, we will become more and more free and there will become less suffering. But we will have some kind of ego that could be there, right? And if we are not attached to it, it will not create any suffering for you. Because when we are building strong bonds to the ego, then it will be creating suffering for us. See, and that is the problem. But the ego is creating a lot of problems in this world. So work on it. Try to drop it, become so empty as you can. In emptiness, there is no ego. Okay, my friends, so I want to thank you for this evening, for this moment with you. And I will see you very soon. Thank you for today. May there be peace for you and all living beings on this planet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Goodbye.